Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace, love, and blessings of Allah be with you. Welcome to Ramadan Transformation, day number 18. You are already enough. You are already enough. You are perfect just the way you are. There is nowhere to get to. There's nothing more you have to do. There's nothing more you have to be. You're perfect already. You already are everything you're trying to become. You already are everything you're trying to become. You're perfect just the way you are. Now, you think I'm saying these things as a compliment or to make you feel good, but I'm not. I'm saying these things as a matter of fact. Who you really are is infinitely greater than your thoughts about yourself. Your thoughts about yourself have been limiting you. They've been making you less than you are. But who you really are is your mind, consciousness, and thought. Those three things make up who you are. And it's different to your thoughts about yourself. Your thoughts about yourself are minor compared to who you actually are, which is the power to create those thoughts. Think about this. The entire universe is running exactly the way Allah wants it to. There are billions upon billions of stars. There are more stars like the sun. The sun is a star. There are more stars in this universe than grains of sand on planet Earth. And they're all following their course exactly as Allah wants them to. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahman علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان. The sun and the stars are all worshipping Allah. They're all following the exact course and path that Allah wants them to do. Every cell in your body right now is worshipping Allah. You know, when I say you're perfect, and when I say you're awesome, and when I say I'm perfect and I'm awesome, it's not to inflate your ego or to inflate my ego. I'm saying it as a matter of fact. Allah created you awesome. Allah created you in an amazing way. Who you really are is indescribable. Words fail to describe how beautiful you are. They really do. And it's so easy for us to get distracted with caught up in our ego, caught up in trying to feel good and all those things, and forgetting the essence of who we really are. You know, my friend Chipman told me a story. He said a friend of his walks into a prison to give a talk in front of all of these people who have been rejected from society, you know, considered like people who will never be able to get jobs now because they've been in jail, people who in the past have been criminals and murderers. And he says to them, I'm really good with words, but if I was to spend some time making up the most beautiful words I could possibly think of to describe you, they would pale in comparison to the truth of who you really are. You are Allah's beautiful creation. When the Prophet ﷺ said, "Irhamu man fil ardi yarhamukum man fis sama," love those on earth and those in heaven will love you. Remember that you are on earth. Love yourself for Allah to love you. And remember as well that, you know, I used to think that I was very imperfect. I used to think, oh, I'm so messed up. I used to beat myself up a lot because I would sin. And these things I'm saying, you really have no reason to ever beat yourself up. This little mufti you have in your mind can take a break and can actually retire now because you have no reason to beat yourself up. You've always done the best you can with the knowledge that you had at the time, with the insight that you had at the time. You've lived your whole life up until watching this series, believing that feeling comes from somewhere other than thought. You're completely psychologically innocent of everything that happened before that. You were running around like a headless chicken trying to make yourself feel good because you didn't know where feelings really come from. And this is the spiritual truth that the Prophet ﷺ tries to point us towards, that the Quran does point us towards. Feeling comes from inside of you via the power of thought. And that means that you've got nothing more to do. Now, some people resist this. Your ego is resisting this right now. Your ego is resisting hearing that you're perfect just the way you are. Because it's like, no, you don't know me. You don't know how imperfect I am, how messed up I am, how much I've sinned. Yeah, I do. I know you've sinned. I know you've messed up. I know you've made mistakes. If humanity didn't sin, Allah would wipe us off the face of the earth and replace us with people who do sin. Allah loves sinners who turn back to Him. The first step in turning back to Him is recognizing that He made you just right. He made you perfect. If Allah wanted you to be any other way than you are right now, then that's the way you'd be. But you are the way you are right now. And that's just perfect. That's just the way Allah wants you. I wouldn't have it any other way. You're perfect just the way you are. Objectively speaking. Coming from an Islamic frame of reference. There's no more struggle needed. There's no more you don't need to hurt yourself anymore. You don't need to beat yourself up anymore. You are already enough. You don't need to do anything else for Allah to accept you. Allah is never going to accept you more than Allah accepts you right now. Allah completely accepts you right now. If Allah didn't accept you right now, you wouldn't be breathing and watching and hearing me speak. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله الذي ولكم. I just want you to just for a moment glimpse at how beautiful you really are. Without ego putting you down, without ego bigging you up, but just objectively see who you really are. You're not a human being who occasionally has spiritual experiences. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That's the reality of your life. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.